Welcome to Strength Side. Today we're going over 3 exercises to help you fix your rounded back. So, rounded back, what we're usually referring to is too much flexion in this thoracic part of the spine here, okay? So, what we need to do is we need to add more extension there to straighten out that spine and to get us a little bit more upright into what would probably look like better posture. Now, one other thing to consider is that when we get into this rounded upper back position, a lot of the time the head comes forward, right? And we get into this forward head posture. Now, if my head stays forward and my neck is, flexed forward here, then it's really hard to get my upper back extended. I actually can't, it's not really physically possible. So, one of our main priorities is going to be getting that head back and getting that neck back to neutral. Now, a lot of the time, if you just do that, we work on retracting this neck and aligning that properly, then that upper back automatically kind of straightens out a little bit, okay? They work as a unit. So these 3 exercises are going to address all of those things, all right? So enough chit chat, let's get to the exercises. This first exercise is neck retractions. So like I stated earlier, if your head is forward in this forward head posture, then it's going to pull your upper back into a rounded position as well, right? I can't keep my upper back straight but have my head forward. So before we get to going at that thoracic spine, the upper back, we have to get our neck aligned properly and our head back over our shoulders. So how are we going to do this? Well, like the title of the video says, we're going to use a real simple exercise, and that's just going to be pulling the head back, right? I'm here, I pull back. So some things to think about are keeping your chin tucked, keeping your eyes just straight forward. We don't want to do this, right? We're not doing neck extensions, we're doing retraction, which means pulling backwards. So you can see how my head comes from a forward position, back, stacked over the shoulders, and the cervical spine stacks over my thoracic spine, much better, okay? So if you're doing this correctly, then you should feel these muscles in the back of your neck, on your shoulders. You should feel those muscles engaging, and now these muscles are working to do a function that they're supposed to do, which is to keep the head stacked over the shoulders, right? And they're not off or lengthened in this position, okay? So once you've done that, if you feel like you're getting comfortable with it, you want to add a little bit of resistance, all you have to do just put your hands here on the back of your head. Now I can just pull back into my hands. Now we're probably going to get less movement here. This is more of an isometric contraction. So what I suggest is probably holding about 3 seconds, pulling back into my hand, relax, pull back about 3 seconds. Don't do any of this too intensely. If it hurts, then probably back off. But the main objective here is getting those muscles firing to keep my neck in a neutral position. Okay, that's neck retractions. Let's get to the next exercise. So this next exercise is called sitting wall, and it's super complicated. I'm kidding. Title of the video, simple exercises. All you need is the ground and a wall, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm going to just push myself all the way up against this wall here. I'm gonna straighten my legs. I'm gonna make sure that my butt is touching, and then I'm going to let my mid-back touch, and then press my head back against the wall as well, okay? All you're gonna do is settle in here, because now you're just gonna be straight chilling, right? What we're thinking about here is the same as those neck retractions, right? This is why we do the neck retractions first, is because we want to keep the chin at a level position, okay? I don't want to be cranking my head up here to get my head back. We want this retraction of the neck so we keep the eyes straight away and that chin tucked down, okay? Now my hips hit the wall here and my upper back hits the wall. And all I'm gonna do is just keep on pressing back this way and just settle in here. Now if you're doing this correctly and all of your back is hitting the wall, then it's surprising how much this will actually start to fatigue because your postural muscles on your backside are really working to keep your spine in straight alignment, okay? Now, for some of you, this is going to be challenging to have your legs straight like this, okay? If you have tight hamstrings, which you might, especially if you're in a kind of rounded position, then you're gonna get pulled under and you're not gonna be able to get your butt all the way up against the wall, and it's gonna look something more like this, where I can fit my arm in here, okay? And if I press my butt all the way against the wall, then I might not be able to get my head back either. So if this is the case, then obviously we want to spend more time here and we want to work on it, but you can put a little bit of knee bend in your posture, a little bit of bend in your knees, okay? So I just hike my knees up a little bit like this. This takes the tension out of the hamstrings, so we can focus more on that back being straight. Now, we do want to progress to getting our legs down. So every time you do this, you should try to bend the knees a little bit less until we can have those guys straight down on the ground. That's also going to help increase that hamstring flexibility as well. But back to sitting wall, just to recap, main things that we want to do: touch the hips, touch the mid-back, touch the head, look straight. Don't be here on your phone. We're looking straight. Chill out, breathe. Next exercise. The last exercise is the Cobra Stretch. Some of you guys may be familiar with this stretch. It's used in yoga, and this is going to be great at helping extend your whole spine, okay? So because we did these exercises in order, now we kind of have more control, and you know what it feels like to pull the neck back and to pull that upper back into extension. So now we're going to use that feeling to sit into our Cobra Stretch. So you're just gonna get flat here on the ground, like so. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put my elbows right under my shoulders, maybe a little bit back from my shoulders, and then I'm going to press up onto my forearms, okay? So now here, we're in this Cobra position, right? And now for the sake of this video, we're only gonna do on the elbows because these are simple exercises. So from here, you know, it's one thing to just get to this position and sit here, right? But if that's what we're doing, we're probably only getting extension from the lower back, the lumbar portion of the spine. We want extension in that upper back and that neck area, right? Thoracic cervical. So what we are going to do is we're going to take what we learned from our neck retractions in sitting wall, and we are going to pull the neck back, not pop the chin up, keep the chin tucked, but press that neck back and up, and we're going to start to really try to extend the upper back as well, okay? So we're going to sit in this position very actively, okay? My elbows are kind of pushing into the ground here. I'm also going to keep a little bit of tension in my butt. That's going to help from not just extending just the lower spine, okay? So I keep a little bit of tension in my butt, I press back. I'm actively pressing the neck back. I can't stress this enough. You don't want to just sit here in this pose, right? That's not going to do anything for you. You have to work to get this extension. And if you sit here and you're actively pressing into this, then after 30 seconds maybe, you're going to feel the muscles in your upper back start to burn, okay? Or start to fatigue, right? So we're just going to hold this position, look straight ahead, keep pulling back. Think about opening up the chest. Think about kind of spreading the shoulders out, not letting them come forward here. We want to kind of pull them back and out. And we're really just opening up that whole back portion into extension. Now remember, doing all these exercises is great, it's fantastic, but if you don't think about your posture in everyday life, then it's not going to matter very much at all, okay? Strengthening the right muscles and stretching the right muscles don't matter unless you make a conscious change in your everyday positions, okay? So when you're standing around, when you're sitting around, make sure that you're pulling your neck back, make sure that you're getting your chest open and trying to be in a better position. That's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and took something from it. Please like it if you did. Subscribe to StrengthSide. Go ahead and like the Facebook page if you have any questions. Check out movestrongnow.com. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.